My name is Ivory Madison. I'm the founder and CEO of Red Room, as you just heard. A bonfire of the vanities in 14th century Italy was actually a bonfire that people would throw objects into that were thought to encourage vanity. It was also an 80s movie, not a very good one, starring Bruce Willis and Tom Hanks. And don't they look like they just realized they're using the wrong metrics? So anyway, we're gonna help them with that. Also, I'm gonna read the slides in case you're looking at your phone. And also, I inserted these little quote slides before every substantive slide, kind of a PowerPoint amuse-bouche. So this is a quote that I'm sure was about vanity metrics. There is no safety in numbers or in anything else. Vain, vainglorious vanity. These are great. If vanity is one of the words in the thing that you're doing that is not best practices, the word vain actually means futile and narcissistic, so if that's any clue. So vanity blinds you to the fact that you don't have product market fit, because vanity metrics are accurate, but they're irrelevant. So if you're not measuring the right thing, and I know there's a lot of experts here and you already know that, but I need to be told this over and over, so maybe some of you do too. It commits you to your original vision. The metrics you were using when you started out may have been appropriate at that time, but they're not what's going to drive the evolution of your company now. So it's a good idea for everybody to reevaluate their metrics right now. And the other thing about vanity metrics is you're invested in appearances. So if you are looking through your analytics trying to find a number that makes you look good, you've officially forgotten what the purpose of metrics are. So when you're reevaluating your metrics, it's really important to remember you're like a detective who's tracking down reality. Like you should be like a detective tracking a murderer. So if it helps you at all, I like to think of myself as a time-traveling homicide detective going back in time to solve who murdered my company in the future. By the way, I'll give you a hint. It's someone on your team. It might actually be a lot of people who conspired to do it together. It might actually be you, but that's okay. So anyway, that helps me. So let's see. Here's another little quote. This is a French postmodernist semiotics guy. I'm not going to try to say his name. So let's move on. So, okay. I love this term that Eric coined, success theater. Vanity metrics are an expression of this larger phenomenon of success theater. Living beyond your means, spending energy looking successful, or exaggerating your accomplishments. Those are not a good idea in your personal life or your business life. I want to tell you a few things about Red Room, and I'll try to tell some of the more embarrassing things because I know those are more helpful. I raised $3 million, and so fundraising was my top priority, I would say, for the first 2 years. So the opportunity cost of that is that building the company was not my top priority. So anyway, that's how I feel about raising money. Plus, raising money gave us a false sense of security. We paid market salaries. We had a nice office. We had matching swing line staplers. And if you are buying matching staplers to create a sense of order and success, that is not wise. The biggest lesson that I learned about success theater, just to go on a slight tangent here because I think it's an important lesson, is it attracts the wrong kind of people. So the employees that you attract are going to be people who need the company to be successful or look successful for them, not the kind of people who have guts like you do to build something out of nothing and make it successful. So success theater, bad. Let's see. Another good quote. So Mark Twain here obviously was talking about vanity metrics, and he's talking about aggregating facts in order to hide them from yourself. So not a good idea. So I know you want to know, well, what numbers should I not be using? So these are notorious vanity metrics that you probably should not be using. We tracked all of these at Red Room for so long, I don't even want to tell you how long. And if you're using any of these, you should either ask me or someone from NEO or a very mean VC who will do it for free, whether or not these are truly relevant to your business or not. Page views, I'll start with page views. just use the so what test. You know, you have 5 million page views per month, so what? Are you a CPM, based display ad business model company? If you're not, it doesn't matter how many page views you have. New members, total members, even monthly active members. You can have 1,000 new customers a month, but if you lose 900 in the same month, that number is hiding something. And you're not going to scale because it's all about retention. So your membership metric has to be about retention. Unique visitors and visits, you're aggregating instead of tracking individual customers over their life cycle. Percent growth of what? Your page views, your members. There are relevant growth statistics. I'll talk about one later. Conversion rate. So if you have 2 potential customers, you convert into 2 customers, you have 100% conversion rate, who cares? You have to validate your basic premise. Optimizing your conversion rate is for established businesses. Twitter followers. So instead of making fun of companies that think that the number of Twitter followers they have matters, I will tell you something that does matter. Companies, not people. It could matter to you as a person. But so let's say Red Room does an experiment, and we say, OK, we're going to have a trackable link in a tweet with a discount on ebooks, and then we see how many people follow the link and buy an ebook. That's valuable data. But how many Twitter followers Red Room has is not. Facebook friends or likes. Is this your business model? No. Do you get paid for this? No. Is it Facebook's business model? Yes. Do they get paid for this? Yes. Are you Mark Zuckerberg? No. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know what I just did there. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay, I like this quote from T.S. Eliot about this is the way the world ends, not with a bang but a whimper. Eric talks about companies that are like the Walking Dead. They're using vanity metrics so they don't know that they're done. So they're zombie companies. They're zombie companies running nowhere in a hamster wheel. So they're hamster zombies. Do not be a hamster zombie. Characteristics of actionable metrics. If you use these 5 points to analyze the metrics you're using, you will be as breathlessly excited as I am right now. So measuring success at your core business, directly relating to revenue, tracking real individual customers, illustrating cause and effect, and leading you to what to do next. You really have to go through all your metrics and make sure they do these things. Let me tell you about a really good metric. One of my advisors helps run Bloomberg. We're very lucky to have him. So one of the things that he did when we were visiting him in New York is showed us this scoreboard at Bloomberg that shows how many terminals they've sold. So this metric, anybody at Bloomberg knows what that scoreboard is, how many terminals they've sold at any time. This is a great metric because terminals are their business model. It is directly tied to revenue. It shows their sales volume, and it tracks individual customers that you could call up and talk to. So that's a really, really good metric. This is how you find out how do you make money? Are you making enough money? Are you doing experiments that are leading you what to do next? Can you replicate or expand these numbers? If you don't know how a number got that way or how to make it do that again or more, it's not a good metric. So if you're ready to take a look at what your numbers really are, really face reality, even if the coming reality is an apocalypse. I like this. This was a tweet from Jenna Fisher, the actress on The Office. She said, "I'm not prepared for a zombie apocalypse. I need more bottled water, a shotgun, stronger abs." So, now that you're ready for the potential apocalypse, I don't mean to sound negative, but when you really apply these principles, it would be amazing if you couldn't immediately realize that you could do better. So this is what doing better looks like. I call it your 4. It's the most important metrics that you have. People say you need 3 to 5. Well, I decided for you it's 4. You need 4. This is what they are. Something related to revenue, sales volume, customer retention, and relevant growth. I would like to have a cute acronym for this, but as you can see, it would be RISA-CRR or RIVER-RIGA or So I decided to call it your 4. So the revenue-related one, I'll tell you another story about Red Room. We have really struggled with having a core business model that scales. We still don't have one. So several times I've swooped in and saved the company with some product that'll get enough revenue in or a biz dev deal. That's really great that I did that, but that revenue is not relevant because we're not scaling. So I wouldn't put that anymore, but I used to, in our revenue metric. Sales volume. This could be units sold, whatever it is, as long as it tells you if enough people are buying what you're selling. Customer retention. I know a lot of people know this stuff inside out, so I'll just shout out funnel analysis, cohort studies, and you know what that means. If you don't know what that means, reread that part of the book. It's brilliant, changed my life. Relevant growth. So most entrepreneurs are looking at their analytics, looking for a number that's growing so they can show growth. No lean startup for you. That's not what that means. So what you need to do is you need to figure out a metric that captures your engine of growth. So whether that's sticky, viral, or paid, this is something that the behavior of your customers creates new customers. That's what you need to track. That's relevant growth. My friend Dave Logan, who wrote a book called Tribal Leadership, taught me a concept called your default future. It's where you're really going on the trajectory that you're on, not where you say you're going or think you're going. So these 4 will tell you where you're really going. And then now a serious poetic quote, because then you can see the world in a grain of sand when you get to the point where you have relevant metrics. Just from a glance at the dashboard, you're going to understand what's going on with your company. And the numbers, I just want everyone to remember, are just a measurement of something much greater, of your ability to turn your vision into a legacy. And creating a great legacy is worth doing, but it's really, really hard. But you wouldn't be here if you couldn't do it. So I would love to be here for the whole conference, but I have an 8-week-old at home. So I'm going to go home now. But I'm going to watch everything else on live stream, and thank you very much.